This episode is partially brought to you by the Humble Choice program. Did you know Humble Bundle has a great monthly subscription service that lets you get a ton of video games every single month? That's right, from plans range from $5 to $20 a month, you get a hold of a bunch of free games they have available to you. And you could use our code down in the description below to go and sign up. It would help our podcast and help you see what great games are available for you this month.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special 30th edition of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. I've got Mike along with me. Mike, did you expect this show to make 30 episodes?
Wait, are you correct? Holy shit. Jesus Christ, that's a lot, AJ. We're gonna have to retire after this. What do you say? We end on top? I like it.
I say we retire at 65 episodes.
Why 65?
Because that's the average age of retirement in the U.S.
No, but you don't get Social Security benefits at full until 67.
Right, but a lot of people figure that they can live off their 401k for 2 years into them. And a lot of places are, I guess I don't know about the coast, but in the Midwest, a lot of places, if you retire, you get benefits for like a year afterwards.
It depends. I don't know.
Some companies do it. There's a lot of major corporations that don't. They get rid of you as soon as
because Medicare kicks in at 65, to be fair, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people retire at 65 because they figure their 401k can last them 2 years, and then
maybe they get a nice little boost for retiring because they worked at a company forever, and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Genius. I'm glad we've thought this through.
That's
what if we do 71, though, we get maximum social.
That's still another what?
2.5 years?
Yeah.
That's way too long for me. I don't think you understand retirement. But so we should do the semi-retirement thing then, where you just convert it to every other month, and then at that point, then it's like, I was like, in quote, we're retired.
We're only doing the show part-time. No, yeah, as you can tell by us kind of just bullshitting around, there's not a ton to talk about.
This is better than last month.
Well, that's true, but we're starting to get into stuff actually happening. So,
trying to think, yeah, it is. We're recording this. It is Sunday. There was snow outside yesterday, but it was like 50 the day before, so I don't understand how weather works anymore.
Yeah, it's raining today. So all of our snow will probably gone this week.
Yeah, I have very little left. Whatever, I think we got whatever. It looks like it's warmed up a bit, so it might be gone now.
Yeah.
What is about to be spring?
Yeah, that's true. But normally, in the Midwest, you have snow until mid-March, and then
yeah, maybe some years it bleeds into April, but like not a ton.
Yeah,
you get like those April days though that you want to kill yourself because it's like 20 out, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and then you get those other April days where it's like in the 70s, and you're like, what is going on?
Or you get the February days where the sun's out and it feels amazing, but then you go into the shade and realize the air temp's like 28. And
yeah. So
that's
a
question.
A
t-shirt.
As we're talking about the warm-up time, right? So my new house, I have water access to 3 different lakes. The question becomes, if I buy one of these 3, which do I buy? A kayak, a canoe, or a jet ski?
Don't buy a canoe.
Okay, why?
Because that's pretty much a 2-person thing.
I was leaning towards a kayak, and then the question was, do I get a 1-person or 2-person kayak? So I think a 2-person kayak, a 1-person could still use, just harder.
Yeah, you can. It's a bitch to handle, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's that or the jet ski. Jet ski just feels the hardest because then I have to get like a trailer, where a kayak canoe I could just strap to the top of my car.
Yeah, like the problem with a jet ski also is then you have insurance and registration
and gas and yeah.
Well, they're pretty good on gas, so
Yeah, but then I have to either get a gas can because I don't want to stop in the water because it's always more expensive to get gas on the water.
Yeah, you just pull through your local gas station and
I guess yeah, but because at that point I have a trailer. I don't know if my car, it's a Corolla, so obviously can't tow a boat, but I think it might be able to tow a trailer with a jet ski 'cause it's not a ton of weight.
it should be able to.
Yeah, like so. Also, we're talking about towing something like 4 miles.
Yeah.
We're talking about towing something across a city.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean
these.
any gas station that's near the water will have usually ethanol free gas.
Yeah, and that's I think what it is.
So
The jet ski is also the most expensive of the bunch, obviously.
yeah.
Where a kayak, I don't think was that expensive.
I would spend money on a kayak.
Yeah,
Like not just cheap out on one.
but you know, like an expensive kayak that's like reasonable expensive. Like it's not gonna be $10,000 to buy a kayak.
No, but if you're, I mean, figure on spending like 1,500 to $2,000 on a kayak.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I close on the house at the end of May, so then I have the entire summer in the house.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Because yeah, closing in a house. Except I have still 3 months to close on this house, so it's one of those things that like this is obviously will be the most stressful of my moves, but I'm not stressed because how much time I have to plan this move.
That's the worst part for me. I just love it when it's a manageable time frame of like 2 or 3 weeks. Then you're like, okay,
No, especially because like there's stuff like I want to get more stuff done. Like the only thing I can do right now reasonably is there's stuff like a couch or a custom desk I want to order, which will take like 8 weeks to get here. So like those things I could do, but like most of the things I just it's a wait and sit game.
yeah. That's the annoying part for me is the like if I have 3 months for something, then it's just like okay, you
Yeah.
know, this project is on a standstill for like weeks at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a huge fan of it.
There's a lot of little. Also, like what I've just been doing is each couple days I would like knock one thing off that checklist. So like I think this week I'm gonna try to start shopping on for home insurance.
Who's your car insurance there?
Geico. So I might just do home insurance too.
Yeah, 'cause normally if you bundle,
It's like 10 or 15% off each,
yeah,
which
which
ends up being a good chunk of change.
yeah, I mean if you figure it's even if it's 10% off both of them, that's a
We're talking about that being a couple $100.
yeah.
Which is interesting because legitimately my auto insurance is going to be more than my home insurance, which is wild.
Well, because you're not 25 yet, right?
Correct. I turned 25 this year.
Yeah, so that's when it goes down.
But just funny, like even when it goes down though, that numbers will probably be about the same. We still have full coverage on the car.
Yeah. Well, and I mean your house insurance will go down eventually too. So
Yes. It'll be a bit though. Also, yes and no, because I bet you the house will only go up in value.
well, so the house goes up in value, but the longer you go without a claim,
Mm-hmm.
the more likely it is to go down. It won't go down by a
Mm-hmm.
lot, but it'll go down.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And money is money.
yep.
Okay. Well, this is good house talk. I bet you will continue this. But let's just start into the big stuff. Nothing. There's a COVID pandemic happening currently. So what have you played? AJ, what is jalopy?
Jalopy's been around for a while. Um, it's a it's one of those like well, the right way to describe it. It's kind of like what was the name of that? I can't think of it's so basically what you're doing is you're going across supposedly Eastern Europe and you're taking your uncle along in this piece of shit car and you're going through the different countries. It's kind of like Papers, Please in a way.
Okay.
In some parts where like certain countries have things that are illegal.
Okay.
and you can risk bringing them in, and you know there's a chance your car doesn't get checked, and then you can make a shit ton of money and make improvements to the car, or you get popped at the border and they charge you a fine.
So I'm gonna say this the nicest way possible. I'm looking at the game like screenshots right now.
Mhm.
It's to me when a video game is trying to feel like an indie film. Is what this video game looks like to me.
It very quickly kind of gets rid of that vibe.
Okay. Because the initial screenshots I'm seeing, it very much reminds me of that kind of like here's like that cheap stylized film look, which actually could work well in a game, but that's what vibe I'm feeling from it.
Yeah, it gets rid of that pretty quick because it goes to more of like it's just you driving down a road for the vast majority of the game and kind of managing the car because everything's got wear and you need to repair stuff when it breaks and the battery can go flat and you can run out of gas and tires can pop and all this stuff. So yeah, I've owned it for several years at this point, and I kind of go back it's been like 2 or 3 years since I played it last, but I just re-downloaded it. I'm like, okay, I'll finally finish it because I've never finished it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's kind of, if you like those, management's not the right word because that side of the game is very light, but it's kind of, it's a great podcast game.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's not a lot going on. And so you can have stuff going in the background pretty easily and not lose story beats or lose, where you're at or what you're doing.
Because yeah, it doesn't matter the same.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How's
Would you recommend it?
how's Hades going?
I have when we talked, but in podcast we last talked, I got to Hades once. I have now beaten the game twice. So how it works is you
8
beat it,
more
you
to
get to
go.
Hades, yay, push it back down. Uh, yes. Then every time you have to make the game a little bit harder because they have like these things to make it harder to get you bonuses again. What is cool about it though, which I didn't realize, I thought I was at the end of upgrades for the game, which then sucks and it's just purely skill. They actually have a new tier of upgrades once you do that to at least give you. It's not giant bonuses, but it's a little more little more health and a little more gold continually, which at least makes it a little continually. At least I have something to work towards as I'm working towards beating the game. Which my concern in that kind of game, which I think the original Rogue Legacy had the same problem with, is when you got to the end of that skill tree, if you didn't be in the game yet, you just felt stuck because there was anything else you could do with this game, at least because it's still feeding me more, has not got to that point yet.
And the premise of this game, right, is that you are effectively like, are you playing through the entire game?
Right, but the entire run of the game, start to finish, so the whole thing is it's 4 worlds? Yeah, 4 worlds, and then there's 4 bosses, because then each world's a boss, and the fourth one's Hades. That run, I think, when I beat the game, I think it's 36 minutes or 30 minutes, like a successful run.
That's not bad.
Right, so like, obviously I don't always get to that. I consistently get to Hades, it's a matter of if I can beat him, but like, in that run though, then I get enough stuff to either get the next upgrade at this point or get really close to the next upgrade. So it's every other run. I at least always have an upgrade I've gotten some capacity of.
Yeah. Well, if it's 36 minutes, that's 360. So it's what, 6-ish hours.
What?
You said a
36 minutes
successful run is about 36 minutes,
Right.
and you have to do that 10 times. So
Oh,
like,
I get you saying.
like a bare minimum is the game is
Yes.
6 hours.
I bet you right now I have my bet's 20 hours in the game, but you have to count for going from beating Hades the first time was way longer than getting to beating Hades the second time.
Right.
So I probably played 5 hours since I beat Hades the first time. So like, it's 5, like it's so that jump I bet is not gonna get as hard.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the games that are like that are, oh, you're going through, you know, games that I've always had a problem with games that do that it's like, oh, in order to beat the game, you have to do this 5
So the thing
times.
I
Or
appreciate about Hades doing it though, and it's funny part is they don't actually advertise that like when you're gonna beat a kind of thing. We just know that because we've heard people talk about that. That's 10 times the magic numbers. Like you have to do it again, but you don't know the amount. Is the story somewhat matters in this game, but like you're not playing this game for that story. So even if you beat Hades once, you at least feel satisfied that you beat the game.
yeah.
Which I think is an improvement from like it being like no content from a gameplay point of view to me is locked out independent of the amount of times I beat that game. As long as I beat it once, I have access to all of that gameplay content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think helps that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm it's weird to it's kind of contradictory because I like the Metal Gear games that kind of force you to play stuff over again, especially 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because the missions there's such a spectrum that you can approach Metal Gear missions to. You can go in and do all OSP, or you can go in 5, rolling with a tank and just level everything,
Mm-hmm.
and anything in between. And kind of to me, like that was kind of the draw, right? Like I played through the main campaign as stealthily as I could, or I tried to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw that these missions were popping up again, I was like, you know what, screw it. I want to try this with, a tank and air support and missile launchers and grenades and, zero stealth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas from the sounds of it, Hades is very much you're kind of restricted to in that aspect of the runs, but yeah, it's a game that I won't play, but that's my. I don't really like a lot of those games anyway, so.
Yeah, well, that game tends to be, especially because when I've been traveling the last week or so, like it's been a good on a plane or I have X time kind of game because it's again those short runs that like even if I mess up a run and I have to leave halfway through and I just kill myself, I at least got something from it, but it still helps me get towards that progress goal, but it doesn't like need the same amount of time.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that being on a plane. Like, the Switch is the perfect plane thing.
Especially because it suspends all the games. That's what makes it work.
No, if your journey is under 3 hours.
Yes, but I at least was on a plane the other day that had a outlet in it.
Was it a fast outlet? Probably not.
It was fast enough that would keep a charge.
Was it just holding charge, or was it actively charging?
I think it might have been actively, just not quickly.
Because I know the Switch will do a thing where, like, even if the outlet isn't powerful enough, it'll basically run off the outlet and, save the battery.
Because I plugged it in when it turned blinking red, and I still played another hour after that. So like, and when I got back home, I don't think it was red anymore. So it had to have been some capacity actively charging it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just.
No,
I hate things that have such a short battery life. Like,
it's a valid complaint about the Switch, but like, to be fair, like where I live, there are very few spots in the country where I could go where my flight's more than a hair over 3 hours?
Seattle's 4.
I don't think so, because I'm more west.
Well, no, even Minneapolis. I think it was 4 hours.
MSP to...
It was 3.5, but
So to Miami was about 4, I know that.
yeah,
3 hours and 37 minutes to Seattle.
yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, okay, so it bleeds to 3.5, so I don't take it, so if I don't play during takeoff and landing, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're talking about. So when I have phone signal, just don't play the Switch is what you're telling me. That's kind of akin. Again, not
I mean, you have
discrediting
phone
that
signal all the
machine.
way through if you're smart about it.
It's fair. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not discrediting the complaint about the machine. I'm just saying, for me and where I live, it affects me a lot less.
Yeah. I mean, the problem that I have with the damn thing is it's like, I guess it's mildly convenient because my phone is USB-C, so I don't have to lug around a bunch of cords.
Ooh,
Yeah,
but then a battery might work for you, because I assume you have USB to USB-C.
Huh?
Do you have USB to USB-C cords?
Yeah.
Could you do like an external battery then?
Yeah, you could. But that's my laptop or my phone usually plugged into one of those. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Yeah,
have a problem with the buttons? Because I know your hands are bigger than mine.
Yeah, I have serious problems with the Switch controllers.
Well, like, I don't have the real problems with that one. Hades, once in a while, I'll, like, slip off, but, like, I'm relatively fine.
Because basically I don't have my Switch in here, but my thumb, like, completely covers all of 4 of the buttons.
Oh, wow.
So I have miss hits all the time.
I
Add
see.
on to the fact that Nintendo still uses the Japanese
Mm-hmm.
button layout, and I'm always lost.
Mm-hmm.
The Pro controller helps a lot, but yeah, if I play that thing in handheld, I have so many issues with it. It's ridiculous.
That's fair. Well, jumping into the next game, still playing Ye Old iRacing? Did you end up doing that big NASCAR tournament thing or no?
Which one?
I thought there was some the other day we were playing Minecraft. You said there was some big tournament in iRacing. Am I going crazy?
Big tournament. I mean, there's big events, and then there's like the
Okay.
iRacing eNASCAR stuff, but
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
No, those guys are way better than I am.
Mm.
I've been doing more of the road racing stuff, so
And how's that going?
not bad. The major problem is a lot of the stuff is endurance style, so it's timed, not laps.
Mm-hmm.
And the shortest is usually 45 minutes. It's like 45 to an hour.
Okay.
So it's it's an hour and a half time sink to do one of those events. Whereas generally most oval races are just under an hour
Mm-hmm.
in and out. So yeah, it's about an extra half-hour time sink, but it's still fun. I mean, it's something that I'll continue to do for a while, and it's kind of that. It's the it's playing. It's like playing Rock Band to keep up your quote-unquote musical skills.
Mm-hmm.
iRacing takes that to obviously the 11 because it's it's basically as real as you can get without hopping into a real car. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Decent. Yeah, and then we've both been playing that block game. Is it Roblox?
We've been streaming Minecraft for
Couple weeks.
almost a month now.
Uh,
And we're no further than we were basically after the episode.
the issue with Minecraft though is you very much. So our goal is to we've talked about our goal is to play the game until we beat the end, or the Ender Dragon.
Hmm.
The issue with Minecraft is you very quickly make progress, and if your goal is to quote unquote beat the game, unless you want to like do tricks to, like speed through it, and we're relatively just kind of goofing around and doing it, you very much hit that tailspin very quickly. You have to like kind of stock up in gear.
Yeah, it's a Yakuza game where instead of grinding for experience, we're just okay. We need to find a shit ton of diamonds. Okay?
Mhm.
So we need to do a ton of digging, and then it's okay. We either need to be smart or we just go at it, basically brute force.
Which we're being a little mixture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being kind of cognizant of using, caves that I can see from above ground, and
Yeah, you're leading the charge a lot more. Like I'm still getting like the last time we played, I got like 24 diamonds or something, which considering in 2 hours in regular Minecraft, 24 diamonds is pretty impressive. But like you're definitely one more leading, kind of like here's our next goal, and I'm just kind of following suit and kind of getting the stuff.
well, and I'm
That's
just going off of like, okay, what is gonna make our life easier? Like,
right. I'm kind of letting you be the brainchild, where I'm just kind of leading the.
you're my bitch.
Oh, which to be fair, whenever we play games that way, it's always you're the straight man and I'm the comic relief, kind of like just going around and doing stuff. We're getting towards a goal, but like never been my. I'm not like set on the goal of running it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't. That's not how I'd play. Like we're playing this. Like I'm playing a little more goal focused than I would. Like when I play Minecraft, it's like okay, I want a house. Oh, now I want this thing, and now I want this. I'm playing it a little more actively than I would normally play Minecraft.
Yeah. So once we beat the Ender Dragon, I guess we'll kind of
Decide on
take
next
stock of what you and I both have.
We also will see if it's worth getting. Like, because by then some more games would be out. We could also find if this. I wouldn't be. I'd find it interesting if we stayed in that survival e realm for a hot minute, but I don't know what we'd try next.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much, right? Like it's
If this was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, there's a lot. But yeah, now it's that genre. Like, obviously, there's that height of it during Rust, and then you got the Raft game a couple years ago, and that kind of stuff. But
yeah. Which I mean, Raft is kind of fun, but like the Rusts and like the Escape from Tarkov's and
you know, a game we should go check out. Remember the interview we did in the summer? What was the game? Where me and you did it, we played the game. It was like a kind of active tower defense game. We had like different leveling up.
oh yeah, Knockback.
Yeah, that might be a game worth us jumping back to for a week to check it out.
Yeah.
That could be. Well, that was like one of the games that me and you were both interested in. We just wanted to let it get some more updates going.
Yeah, and judging by when I open up Steam, that guy's always in game doing stuff. It's promising.
That's like it's promising. And even when we played it, I don't think at any point it was broken. It just needed some more work here and there.
No, I mean,
Like, I enjoyed what we
I
played.
definitely broke it a couple of times and
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
shut up about it, but
But it wasn't. When I say it wasn't broken, obviously you break things, but like I feel like we also were able, even when you broke stuff, we were still able to play the game.
yeah.
We never got to a point where you broke the game and the guy's like, I need to reset the server, which is usually what you expect to happen.
Yeah.
I remember the networking being surprisingly stable in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think you had an issue, but that was on your end.
I think it was because I was playing off my laptop because before I got the new desktop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why it was. But that might be something. But we could talk about it then. But yeah. Okay, I think that's all of the games we've played. I beat Miles.
Yeah,
And
we
then
talked
I
about
think
that on stream.
I think I'm gonna end up buying Hitman here in the next week or two and start playing it Hitman 3.
Speaking of Hitman, before we go on,
Do you want to talk about the list?
yeah. So you sent me over a list that Kotaku did.
Oh, it's
ranking. What was it? It was 20.
Let's rank Hitman Shoji levels from worst to best. So here's the thing with Kotaku. I would rather say by an author I haven't heard of because I don't think there's an author left in Kotaku that I have heard of.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so let's make it. So neither of us played Hitman 3, correct?
I have not played it yet, though.
Okay. So we're gonna kind of list them in order, but we're not gonna talk about the Hitman 3 ones because obviously neither of you have any reference points for them. Sound good?
I mean, I watched the Giant Bomb did a race through Hitman 3. So I've seen the levels. But I personally haven't interacted with them.
Okay. So number 21 is On a Train from Hitman 3. So we're going to jump to the next one. Number 20 is Freedom Fighters in Colorado.
Yeah.
This is... I'm trying to put this one in place. This is where you pretend to be part of the militia.
Yeah, and you kill the guy that looks like Freddy.
Right. Okay, so...
There's the 3 targets.
Right. I'm okay with this one being lower just because I don't have a good reference in my head, which tells me how relatively unmemorable it is. But to me, what I find interesting is I also don't remember it being the most annoying to me, is where I find it interesting this is so low.
No, I mean, they complain about there being no safe areas to relax as 47.
I don't remember, there are missions I remember that being a problem. I don't remember that being here.
Okay, if you're trying to do suit only, Freedom Fighters might be the hardest level to do it in the first Hitman. But there are so many opportunities for you to find outfits that let you basically do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that complaint of there not being areas to let you ponder is weird. I'm wondering if they're combining the it wasn't Patient Zero in the original Hitman. But there's one where you have to you're up in the water tower and you're sniping dudes.
That's Hitman 2 is what you're thinking of, I think.
No, it takes place on the Colorado map.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I'm wondering if they're worried about that, but it doesn't sound like it, so I don't know.
Okay, so the next one is a Gilded Cage, which is Morocco in Hitman.
This is probably the third best level from the first Hitman.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't remember Morocco being that bad.
No, this is the one where I genuinely had the most fun in the first Hitman on this level.
This is the my issue with Morocco was I think it was at Dubai. One of them was just too crowded.
This one's pretty crowded, Morocco, because it's got it's got the bazaar. It's got the
right. This is Morocco. It's Morocco, what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So that's my one issue. That's my complaint about this level is I dislike a map when it has too many people continually, which obviously Morocco in real life would too. So it's reflective of that. But that's kind of my problem from the levels. I mean, it just feels too claustrophobic walking around.
Which we'll get to it later, but I'm very curious about your opinion about the Paris map because it's the same problem.
Yeah, but we'll get to it in a second. But actually, I think there's more open in that one. Okay, so the next one is the training facility in Greenland, which is from the first Hitman.
I don't know if you can include this.
Well, I think you can because they bill it as a level. I think in theory this should be the worst levels unless something really is atrocious. They're great training levels, but they're way less memorable. They're more memorable because it's a memorable tutorial, but it's not a memorable level.
Yeah.
It's great training. Legitimately, what I will give all the Hitman games is they're amazing at training you.
I guess if they are going to include the training levels from the first Hitman game, they need to be 21 or whatever the lowest is.
Mm-hmm.
Because
if we're ranking game tutorials, it'd be near the top.
Yeah, it's probably the best tutorial.
Okay. So the next one is Nicole by New Zealand in Hitman 2. So this is interesting. To me, this is one of my more favorite maps in Hitman 2 because there was such a cool twist. Because the whole point of this one was, it is when you get halfway through it, the entire map changes. That's when the enemies appeared. That's why we liked about this one.
Yeah, and if you look at their description, the description for this level
Mm-hmm.
makes it seem like it's way higher up the list.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're super praising the level and the level design. I don't know why it's so low.
And I think the
Like,
twist of going from an empty house to a house in which enemies appear is really cool.
yeah, and yes, it's the first level, but it introduces you to all of the stuff that Hitman 2 brings into the game, right? It's they can see you in the mirrors. It's you know,
Mm-hmm.
the smoke effects are a little bit different. There's some stuff that's added into Hitman 2 that isn't there in 1, and it's the perfect example of taking kind of what built Hitman 1,
Mm-hmm.
taking that to the, logical next step.
Mm-hmm. That's valid. Okay, so the next one we have is number 16, which is on top of the world in Dubai. So we're gonna let this one be.
Which I
Uh,
think it's interesting that they grouped all three first levels.
yeah, that's fair. Okay, so 15, Japan. This to me
Hokkaido.
is the worst. This is to me is the worst map in Hitman 1. Playing it, it's really cool as a setting. Playing
Yeah.
it's horrible,
Yes.
and that's why I don't understand how this Hitman level. There are multiple Hitman levels ranked worse than this one.
I would definitely put um, Colorado. I'm not sure. Morocco's definitely better than it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like it's like to me the issue with this one was it was so sealed off, so it made it so hard. This one to me I felt like so the whole thing with Hitman games is if you start escalating stuff, it's really hard to get back down. This one's impossible.
yeah.
If you mess up, you're done.
Which it's funny that you mentioned that because we'll get to it later in the list. But there's a Hitman 2 map that has the exact same premise.
Mm-hmm.
And they rank it significantly higher.
Which again, should be ranked. This should be ranked lower. Okay. Next one is number 14, which is Bangkok Club 27 in Hitman. This is the one that I can't put my finger on remembering it.
This is a fun map
Okay.
because it's the hotel that's got the two sides. The one side has the guys that run up
Oh,
the
okay.
top floor for the recording studio. The other side is like the presidential suite or whatever.
So now I'm looking for screenshots and I kind of remember it, but to me, this is, I hate to say it, to me, this is what, if you told me to describe generic Hitman map, this would be what I would come up with.
I mean, this is the problem is if this was in Hitman 2, it'd be great
Mm-hmm.
because it would be, oh, cool, it's another uh, Sanguine.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what this is. This is just another Paris.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you had Paris in this game,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's weird to have like this is you were talking about Morocco being too claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Bangkok takes the claustrophobia of Paris and gets rid of it
Mm-hmm.
because it's technically three buildings
Mm-hmm.
and a basement, so there's all kinds of space, and it's the population density is pretty low,
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely better than Japan. So, but it's weird to have it so low. The problem is Hitman 2 had so many levels that it's like, okay.
Right. So the
End
next
of an
one
era.
is, yeah, which we'll leave B73. Okay, then it's the Arc Society. So I'm very torn on this Arc Society one for Hitman 2. I think this is when the story got really campy and really cool, and theme-wise is really cool, but I don't know if I really like this level.
This is Hitman 2's Hokkaido.
Hmm?
So, if...
I don't think it's as bad, though, for the record.
No, it's worse.
You think it's worse? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, because there's very few outfits on Arc Society
That get you
that,
many places.
yeah, you
I
have
remember
to
that too.
constantly be switching outfits.
Which I think a good Hitman level, I think you need like 2 to 3 is what you should need.
Well, a good Hitman level needs to be doable suit only.
Doable. What I meant, like realistically, I'm saying 2 to 3 is kind of like the optimal kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Like yes, have a path for a perfect person, but broadly speaking, I think that's kind of what I'm looking at when I see a Hitman
Yeah.
level.
And honestly, Hokkaido does that better than this. I would rank
Hmm.
Hokkaido above Arc Society.
I think I do opposite, but I think this is still way too high.
Yeah.
Uh,
More of Arc Society deserves to be lower than it is, not necessarily.
yes.
Hokkaido deserves to be here, but
Yeah. Okay. So Death in the Family is the next one, 11. We're gonna let it be because Hitman 3. Okay. So Three-Headed Serpent in Colombia. This is a map that when I'm playing it, I'm really frustrated by, but looking back, I really enjoy.
yeah, I mean I guess it solves the problem that you have of the escalation.
Hmm.
Right. It's super easy to escalate this map and then you just go into another area and then it's de-escalated.
So there's that, but I also this map to me always felt like it was about to mess up, but I didn't. So it made like I think it's purposely structured that way. It's always like you're just on the edge, and I think it's really that's why I think during it I hate it, but looking back I think it's really genius because it's kind of like what I go akin to like a really hard boss fight that you always just one step ahead on.
Yeah, I mean the problem with this level is the cheese in it is super easy to do.
We'll get to cheese. We haven't got to Paris yet.
So
Okay. So
I'd say it's a good spot. It's weird to see it because I mean Colombia is effectively just Morocco with an extra area.
hmm
Right, so for them to kind of complain about Morocco
hmm
and then praise Colombia, like there's really not much difference, and it's so like I texted you this when we were talking about the list. I'm like, I have so many issues with this list because it's so contradictory. Like it doesn't, it bashes Morocco, but then it
right,
praises Colombia for the exact same feature, basically.
which makes no sense.
Yeah. And it's not like adding a third suddenly makes that a doable thing.
Hmm.
Um, so, and then you get into probably one of my favorite
I
levels,
was
which
gonna
is
say
the bank.
this is exactly what I was thinking too. It's so number 9 is Gold with the Handshake NYC, which is that first love thing, which is the bank. I really like that bank, like so much.
And this does um, the costume thing perfect.
Hmm.
You can do this suit only, and it's super easy as long
Hmm.
as you don't screw up. Or, there's all kinds of outfits that you can use. So
Hmm.
it's not necessarily the hardest level because I feel this is one of those where it's the levels that have these the multiple like uh this one you need to get the data shard out of the vault or you need to get the 3 data shards off the people.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's kind of why we like this one. It gives you multiple opportunities, and then like let's be honest, the best is going up to the tower and pushing the guy off.
Well, no, the easiest thing to do is because you need to get into the back to get the one target anyway, the bank manager. You just you figure out the room where the armored vehicle key is.
Hmm.
You pick that up, you gas the guys in the vault, and then you just get it, and then you go through the
God, I
armored
forgot about
truck.
gassing them in the vault. That was such a cool little thing. Oh, you
It's
switch
like
out the gas.
Like that's the problem with this level is the these side objectives of like don't kill the constant or
Hmm.
retrieve the dead man switches or retrieve the data. Like there's usually you find the easy way to do it and then you just stick to that.
Hmm.
So, good on them for this level having that, there's either okay, the vault route or the three different ones.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's
number 8 is chasing a ghost in Mumbai, which is Hitman 2, which I think goes back to my crowded problem with the other one, but I think this one deals with that problem a little more elegantly.
yeah, the problem is this is Morocco again. Like,
Yeah, no, it's the same level. Like it really is.
it's effectively Morocco just kind of scaled up. And for them to bash Morocco, like this was the level that I was like they praise a level like this later on. It's this.
Hmm.
They're bashing Morocco about kind of the very few set piece kills, and Mumbai has the same problem.
Hmm.
Like, there's really only two, maybe three set piece kills that are cool,
Hmm.
and then the others are like, okay, do this, then that, and then you do it. Um, I think the having the third target be anonymous is cool,
Hmm.
but
But it's
it's
not as cool in practice.
yeah.
It sounds really cool, and like the concept and how you get there is really cool. Once you figure out who it is and how to kill him, it's so not cool.
Well, and you can figure out who the ghost is when you take out one of the targets.
Right.
Because like
It just basically adds another target.
they set up a meeting. The one character sets up a meeting with the ghost, so you just follow that, and then you get the two right there, and then it's like, oh, well, you lose the luster of oh, we need to figure out who this guy is.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
So number 7 is
Berlin.
Apex. Yeah, we're gonna let it be.
Well,
Number
I'll just
6.
say this:
Oh.
watching the giant bomb race, this
Hmm.
level looks like it's going to be a ton of fun.
Okay. Number 6 is the Farewell, Hitman 3, Argentina. Uh, Number 5. Here is where we are. Perry.
It's weird having Paris this high when you bash Bangkok and you bash Morocco and basically all the levels that are the exact same.
See, and I disagree. I think to me, what makes Paris so special is how. So it's a couple things, right? It is one of the more memorable characters in there because everyone can point to Helmut Kruger, obviously. Um, which also is just funny as fuck.
Well, and
Um,
also like Helmut Kruger is really kind of the only time that they've ever done that.
you're right, and I think gives Paris points, which is funny because they set a tone like it would always be like that too. Because this is the first. This is the first level. This is.
Yeah, this is the first level that they released, so it's kind of got that. I don't know. I feel like it's got the.
And I think
It's got
the complaint.
what's it
The
called?
what?
Like the lovebird syndrome. Like that's the problem.
So my actual thing with the Paris. So I think it's so the thing you saying how it's crowded. I think is fair, but I think actually relatively a small percentage of that map is super crowded. It's not where I'm gonna do the kills, and not where I'm gonna try to do the kills. And it's really only that first floor is crowded. When I go outside and I go up top, it's not.
Well, I mean, there's the rooftop party. The auction room is crowded. The storage rooms have guys roaming around. Like,
I actually think I have a bigger complaint with the upstairs security rooms than I do with the crowds in the middle of the floor.
well, and so like I generally don't have a problem with this level. my kind of my gripe about this level is people put it on such high a pedestal and then bash levels that do the exact same thing.
And I don't agree with you. They do the same thing. I think this being a focus on the inside, it's not all, but it's very focused on it, and I think it gets points for like Helmut Kruger and that kind of thing. It is literally the most memorable of characters, basically, from any of the games.
Well, it's also
we'll get
named.
to the next
like,
one.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is Helmut Kruger is named like if the drummer from Bangkok was named, that would be like on the same level as Paris, because that is just completely absurd. Like, okay, yeah, you have Helmut Kruger, you have 47 turning into a model,
which is wild,
and walking the catwalk. But then in Bangkok, you have 47 choking out a drummer and then just rocking on the drums. And it's like, it's the exact same, it's the exact same idea. Right? It's 47 in an absurd situation. And I think the only reason that Helmut Kruger is, people like that is because he's a named character.
Maybe. Okay, so next one is The Last Resort, which is Haven Island, which is the other piece of DLC from Hitman 2.
This is just Tropical Hokkaido. If you screw up, you're done.
That's the thing about it. I think to me it's not as bad of a drop off because it being outside is so easy to walk around, but I broadly agree with you.
Yeah, the problem is there's so many, like, Haven Island has so many restricted areas that you don't know until all of a sudden you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's shooting at me.
Okay, so the next one. Ye Old Miami from Hitman 2.
This is way too high.
Interesting.
Way too high.
I really like Miami.
It's alright.
I think one of the things I really like about this one is, more than some other levels, is it is multiple. It feels so there's like a couple spots. I mean, right? There's the racetrack. There's the back. There's a few things. To me, each of them feel like very distinct, but they feel like they fit in the world. So I almost feel like it's a broader feeling world, but still super cohesive, which is more usual compared to the other ones, where they're very kind of set in their single town.
I mean, Miami has that same problem too. Like, the whole, like, doing the race, like, doing eliminations in the race.
Mm-hmm.
That will just run, like, until you activate certain parts. The race just continues.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of loses its luster, because it's like, okay, the race is like kind of, it's a thing, and one of your targets is in the race. So, you could go do whatever, and then, you could kill the one target and then come back. The race is still going.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it seems like, when you first walk in, it feels like the race is about to end. And then it keeps going, and you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to trigger this set piece, and then the race winds down. So, I have issues with it being this high. I guess, this is the perfect example of a level that I am not a fan of, but a lot of people like.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's so, like, because of the race just going on, like, if the race just naturally ended,
you'd feel more impressed.
Well, it would be cooler, because it would be like,
you have to figure it out. You have to change your entire plan if it gets that far.
Yeah. Like, oh, you missed this opportunity in the story or whatever. Like, that needs to actually happen. Like, every other level has that, where, oh, you missed your opportunity to start this story mission.
Mm-hmm.
With the race, it's just like, oh, it's going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to trigger a node in the story for it to finally start winding down. And that's my main problem, is that it's not as alive as a lot of people think it is. It's some of the stuff in this level is awesome, like the flamingo exit is amazing.
That's amazing.
Being a Florida man is hilarious. There's some really cool set pieces in this level, but that's all that is. It's set pieces. Like,
That's well. Okay, so number two. This is my favorite level in the trilogy. Is Another Life, Widowhorn Creek, which is I think Vermont, and you're just in the suburbs.
Yeah, it's a fun. Like, this is.
It's very open. It being set in like an environment that like we're both we grew up in the suburbs, so we're kind of familiar with this kind of feeling of the environment. This feels like when you picture when someone says, "Describe to me utopian suburb America," it is this map.
Yeah. Also, this, like, if we're being honest, this is the most realistic map.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because like, I've been in a suburb that feels like this. Like, it's not where I grew up, but like, we've all been to these suburbs that feels like this map.
Well, no, more of like, if a hitman were to go after somebody, it would be in a situation like this. It wouldn't be, blowing up their race car.
No, it'd be gassing it'd be like switching. It'd be switching out the oxygen tank where an old man smokes and blows up, or gassing the house.
Yeah. Like, this
or
is
pretending to be an exterminator. Yeah, it's beautiful.
This is the most realistic level.
It also makes sense that someone could walk around kind of the neighborhood and be semi not suspicious because people walked around in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
especially when you get some other maps and you lay down the road and you start not in the suit, but you start in like an outfit of someone in the suburbs. Like, it looks like someone's walking a neighborhood.
Yeah. So, and I agree with their number one being Sapienza.
It's the one that I feel people talk about a ton.
Yeah, like it's really cool. It does the, objective, like, non-kill objective right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the destroying the virus is like it changes the Sapienza level so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is, if Sapienza came out as, they mentioned Mumbai as being a like open world level from a previous gen console or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sapienza is the level. Like, this level is a city, whereas Mumbai is kind of just like a little area.
Mm-hmm.
Sapienza feels like a city. It doesn't feel like, you're being cordoned off.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think some of there are like 3 or 4 cool set piece kills.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also cool that, wasn't this like the second level that they released or something like that?
Yeah, it went Paris to Sapienza.
Yeah.
So to me, what was really cool is they showed they could do an inside piece and an outside piece very quickly. So if anyone had any doubt, the type of pieces they could make.
Yeah. This was a really good follow-up to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem that they have is, how do you follow up Sapienza? Like, you've done, okay, inside, outside, do we do a night level, which they turn Sapienza into a night level at one point.
Mm-hmm. So back to the obvious thing I was just saying. We both adore, or at least both the games. We didn't play the third one, but I've heard great things about it. We would adore, so even if we have complaints about, it's funny because there are levels we both hate, but like, and the game only has 13 levels to combine them. We still love the games.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are probably my favorite. Like, just, I can fire up Hitman 2 and play any level in that game.
I remember very responsible. I was showing my nephew Hitman one time. Um, and he kind of messed up in Paris and like died almost immediately. I was like, give me a controller. AJ, from spawning in Paris in the default location to walking out with both kills was 15 minutes. He just looked at me like, what'd you just do? All I did was I walked, had a throwing knife, killed the one guy, kept walking, went downstairs, shot a guy, ran out of there.
Then, I don't. You may have been playing a different thing, because Paris is, like, that's impossible to do. Like,
Mm. This is the guy upstairs you get in Paris. That's how I got the throwing knife.
yeah, the guy walking down the stairs.
Yeah, that was easy. Because you
Yeah.
just be in the corner, you just kind of keep walking, they didn't catch me. And then... No, what I did was...
The lady is upstairs. You have to get the invitation or sneak her out.
Maybe I snuck around then. It was something where I just kind of shot her. It was good. It was relatively easy to get in. Well, if you know that map enough, so that's when I was playing a lot more. Like I was able to find a kind of a quick way in. But yeah. Okay. That was a kind of a Hitman one down. TV and movie stuff. I know we're kind of going longer. Did you watch Godzilla vs. King Kong, or is this Godzilla and Kong?
This is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Kong Skull Island.
If I remember right, Kong Skull Island was the one that was received okay.
Sure, it was okay.
Well, either of these is good.
Not really.
Why did you watch him?
Well, because Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out at the end of March,
This
and
month.
I hadn't seen the recent.
So are these tied to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
at the
had-
end of well, in King of Monsters, they talk about like, oh, we're seeing, they mention Skull Island a bunch, or they mention it by name, I should say, and it's all the other monsters or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
it's it's building up to Godzilla taking on King Kong, which will be interesting. I give the effects house that did these movies extreme credit,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean the creatures that they make look realistic. It's crazy. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like they're digital.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it feels like the old school movies where it feels like it looked like a prop, like it was a physical thing that they shot with, but it's very, knowing production, it's very clearly not. It's just a dot on a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Still
the
good.
details and the effects on them are really, really cool.
That's good. Nice. Is that fan controlled football you're watching?
Yeah. So I watched like 15 minutes of fan controlled football.
How is it?
It is dog shit.
Which is funny, because some people actually really like it.
Well, so I watched I was on Twitch scrolling through some feeds, and the kind of funny one popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So I hopped into that, and the whole thing is, oh, you use the app or the widget to vote.
Mm-hmm.
They had one, two. They had six people. They had six people on the call for this Kind of Funny stream.
Yeah.
Every one of them had issues.
Interesting.
They're like, oh, app's down, I guess I'm using the widget. Other person was like, oh, app's working fine for me, widget's broken.
So, actual question for you then. So, obviously, we'll take. I want to take technical issue out of it aside for a second. If it worked, do you feel like the idea is cool? Do you feel like it could be successful? Kind of like, what is your feeling on that?
This will burn through cash faster than the XFO.
Interesting, because I'm almost on the opposite take of that one. Because I think to me, it is a couple things, at least on paper, really right. I think speeding up the games helps a ton, and I think giving audience a reason to interact is what I'd be curious if they could take out some of the rougher edges of it, if it would help it a ton, because then you're more invested.
Well, the problem is, like, it's NFL blitz play calling.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like 4 options or whatever, depending on which one you choose. The problem is, like, if this were NFL football, the NFL offenses are so fine-tuned that they could run no huddle the entire length of the field and have a drive last like 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with this is it's taking the issues with football, which is the downtime, and exacerbates that because there is no huddle. There's no, quick, like, it's, okay, wait and see what the vote says. Okay, we're going to call this play.
Yeah, there are things to me that I wish. So when I say rough edges, one of the things is I feel. So one of the things I liked early when I was watching it, I didn't watch it like early when they were kind of setting stuff up, was that the fans got to pick some rules and stuff. To me, I would give fans almost less controls during the game, at least play by play, and try to give them more controls like around the rules of the games and how the games are played than like in the moment.
That would be terrible.
No, you still limit them. You don't give them blind choice, but you give like, how long is this game going to be? 45 minutes, an hour, or like those kind of things. I think we should almost put on the fly more than like in the moment of letting them choose every play. I think that's a problem.
The problem if you give like the meme, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Like the meme desire in the meme hive mind would destroy if you're like, oh, let's put it up to the fans for rules.
No. This is why you give them control. You only give them options. You don't blindly let them pick stuff.
Yeah. Well, like, they have a vote for, like, getting rid of the refs or whatever because Greg got pissed off at the refs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, you don't do, like, that's part of sports, is being annoyed at the refs. And,
and like he knows that 'cause he's a football fan. Like I think it's playing it up for it. Like, to be fair,
I mean, he totally like they've got Nick Scarpino playing Johnny Ace or whatever.
Right, like all that is, like, it's playing it up. Like that's what that is.
And I mean, I think like this will last as long as there aren't fans in stands. Because the second fans can watch football in the stands, they'll go watch football in the stands.
But here's the thing, though. This is purposely off-season. And I think it's going to stay that way.
Well, but you're going to have the XFL in the spring.
No, that's not till next year, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying this will last like this 1 year and then be done.
Okay.
I don't see, like, because going to watch an FCF game would be so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Because, even if you can vote in the arena, again, it's the downtime that is killing. And you have a running clock.
Right.
So it's like, well, let's waste half of the game standing around doing absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least in the NFL, the clock stops.
Mm-hmm.
So
So if anything, then I'd be curious if there'd be ways to do something like tighten the actual clock time, but don't have it run during. Like you have to find ways kind of to minimize the downtime, honestly. But it's like NFL games have so much downtime,
yeah.
which is a complaint, obviously, of NFL games.
But you're not losing action because of downtime.
Right.
Whereas with the FCF, you're losing. Like, first off, the FCF, they don't play defense at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I mean, I guess if you like watching offense, all right, but after the like fifth super long play, it gets kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
okay,
you know,
so then
if you're gonna do 7-on-7, basically zero defense, just play flag or something like that. Like, you know, having this is, I heard it. Somebody described it best. This is lingerie football league with guys. That's all this is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna die pretty quick.
That is fair. Okay, and then lastly on your list, Generation Kill?
Yeah, the HBO miniseries.
I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
It's set in 2003.
Okay.
The invasion of Iraq.
Hmm.
It's good. You either need to be in the military or enjoy kind of the intricacies of the military
Okay.
to really enjoy it, because this is Generation Kill is a lot like Jarhead
Okay.
in that it's basically all downtime. Or it's, you know, showing the kind of the I guess the downsides to the US military machine of, you know, it's not always the best people that are in the position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I would say it's it's a must watch if you have HBO. It's got a lot. It's interesting because it's got stars in it, but not as many. Like, because especially Band of Brothers. I mean, that had
everyone
in it. The Pacific had a couple
Hanks,
guys
right?
in it. No, that was Saving Private Ryan.
Band of Brothers. There's someone else that I'm gonna come in.
Shit, what's his name?
I'm pulling up now.
The British guy.
Fassbender. Fassbender's in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, and what's his name?
Damian Lewis, Juan Livingston.
Damian Lewis is in it, so he was a big name, especially when that came out.
I assume this was Fassbender's probably first.
One of his first big ones. Yeah. But really, like, Generation Kill
it was written by Tom Hanks, by the way. Band of Brothers, so I got that. And created by him and Steven Spielberg. That's how Spielberg in my head too.
It was, Hanks wasn't in it, but it was,
Right, that's where I probably got. I knew the name was tied to it.
But Generation Kill, like, it has Alexander Skarsgård, and that's about it in terms of big names. Which I think is good, because having big name actors in your TV show, especially a TV show that is so atmospheric, kind of pulls you out. Like, Schwimmer was in Band of Brothers. And seeing him in that show just completely pulls you out of the situation. So.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All I really watched in the last bit is I'm one episode behind on WandaVision.
Who gives a shit?
It's good. The first couple episodes are straight just old sitcoms. So one of the things the show does really cool is every new episode they set in the next generation, spoofing a sitcom. So like Malcolm in the Middle was a season. Modern Family was an episode, stuff like that, which I think is actually kind of a cool twist on the show because there are moments where Disney does sitcoms apparently better than actual sitcoms do them for a show that isn't trying to be a sitcom.
I mean, when you have an endless budget, you can do whatever.
Yeah, no, that helps a ton. I think it's telling stories in a cool way that like Marvel movies just couldn't, because obviously you tell stories in TV different than movies.
I don't know. I think my problem with like it's the same issue we're gonna run into with Avatar. It's the same issue that we ran into with Star Wars. It's just everything is Marvel, and it's like, you know, okay, yes, they're doing a very good job with it, but eventually people are just gonna get like bored of WandaVision or bored of the Marvel movies. Like,
I will be curious when that starts happening. I don't disagree with you, but it's interesting because I think we all thought this would happen 10 movies ago.
I figured it would happen after Endgame. Although I guess Far From Home was Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and that was, there was a lot to hope for in that movie. Like it was,
Which I guess the next Spider-Man is the end of this year, so
yeah. I guess Far From Home was the perfect movie to release to kind of keep that drive still there, because if you had released like another Ant-Man movie or
right,
well, you couldn't really do an Iron Man movie, but I think if you had released a non-Waititi Thor movie, you would see that movie just tank, like, because people aren't interested. Like, people are interested in the next Thor movie because it's Waititi doing it, and so it's not a superhero movie at that point. It's a ridiculous comedy. It's not even it's not even like a rom-com. It's just ridiculous comedy. I think the Tom Holland Spider-Man has succeeded in kind of the idea of it's not a superhero movie. It's Peter Parker. It's so. And I think that's part of what makes Marvel successful is they don't focus on the superheroes.
Yeah.
Whereas Justice League and
we'll get to Justice League.
Whatever's next for DC, like those are superhero movies.
I think Flashpoint or Batman. I forget which is next, but yeah.
Hopefully the new Batman that seems to be kind of leaning on the Spider-Man formula of he's not a superhero, at least not yet. So
yeah, okay. Let's jump to some stuff. First thing, speaking of Avatar, Avatar: Last Airbender franchise to expand with Nickelodeon also announced they're forming a thing called Avatar Studios. So basically, they're doing an Avatar movie made by the original creators, and this is broadly all came out during this news about Paramount Plus officially came out, and some series announcements. This is the only one I really pulled from it, because I think it was of the list of them, it is probably the biggest deal of ones, and I think it matters because whether you get Avatar broadly rated is in modern times rated as one of the greatest animated shows, and I think it having the original creators at least attached to it gives people a lot more comfort than that film that came out a couple years ago that had them backing the fuck away of immediately, as we like to say.
Well, and there's I read something about the the Shyamalan movie and how it was like it was what happens if they're trying to make a movie about avatars.
Right.
Like it wasn't an in canon movie. It was like if somebody was making in the universe a movie about avatars. It wasn't the which the show, man, that is a show that just like talk about the ultimate rebound. Like, I mean, because that show was on when I was a kid.
Right. And it's still like, if you read the numbers, it's in the thing I'm looking at too, is the show, an average popularity right now is 10 times more popular than it was when it was on the air. And at the time for Nickelodeon, that was a good moneymaker too.
Like it was all right, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing it like resurface, and I'm like, okay, is this some weird weeb shit that I don't know about? Is it?
No, like it's show like if you look at reviews at the time, which obviously I didn't, and I don't know if you did at the time, like it was always ranked super high, and I think it's one of those things that not only ranked high at the time, it's held up, and I think that's probably why it's jumped in esteem.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so weird to kind of watch the legs that show has.
Right, especially like Legend of Korra, like was reviewed super well, but did not do well at all.
That last season, the first season was rough, from what I heard.
It got real good though, like season 2 and stuff. The issue with like season 3, they just put on Nickelodeon.com because they had them and they didn't want to air them. That's how bad the rating was.
Yeah.
Okay. On list of stuff that I don't think we need but is happening. We officially have a Joel and Ellie, The Last of Us HBO series, and it's Pedro Pascal for Joel.
I think this is the best casting.
No, I don't question the casting, actually. I think casting is really good. I don't think we need this as a series.
I'll be curious to see what they cover. Like, is it going to be retelling the game? Is it going to be...
Because Ellie's in it, so it relatively has to be.
Well, but is it going to be like the game, or is this going to be...
a new story?
After they get to Jackson, is it going to be...
Or do you tell a story, like, in the middle of the game? Because, the game jumped over a year. Maybe find, like, a section of the game in which we didn't actually play. So in between time when they jump times.
In the first one? They jumped time in the second one.
I guess, but this obviously I don't think could be this. I think my understanding was set in at least the time frame of the first.
I'm trying to think of the first one when they would have jumped, and I think the biggest jump was like a couple days in the winter.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, they would jump like you would reach a point and then it would hop to the next season, but it wasn't like it wasn't like in 2 where you're jumping months.
Time. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. I have some trailers listed here. So the first, obviously, is the Mortal Kombat trailer dropped recently, which I believe I tweeted at you and said, "Can we refresh Movie Club for?"
I mean, we're gonna revive Movie Club for Snyder Cut, but
damn right. Mortal Kombat does not look good.
It looks fine. I mean, the effects at least look good.
Yeah, but like the story they're trying to tell with that trailer made no sense.
Yeah, I think it was just a bad trailer.
I mean, it's possible. Like, the cast seems okay. It seems to, when they're in the more Mortal Kombat world, it seems to fit the vibe well. But like when they're in that Earth world and they're like, yeah, and there's this tournament, like it just sounds very weird.
I hope that's like 20 minutes at the beginning and then that's it.
Yeah, like to me, it should all be set in the tournament world. It shouldn't be set in like Earth.
Yeah.
Which is what it seems like it very much is, like a parallel world thing.
Well, yeah, you gotta go to the Nether Realm.
Oh, because it's named by NetherRealm. Smart.
I mean, the balls on NetherRealm to be like, screw it, we're just gonna call everything a realm because our company name is NetherRealm.
Now here's the question: is Ed Boon in the movie? Do we think, like, as a cameo, or
I
what?
hope he's
Or do
Noob
they?
Saibot. Because it's clearly not any games roster.
Okay, but you still, like, I promise you, in some capacity, Ed Boon will be mentioned or visible in some frame in this film.
He'll be a character or a voice. I don't
Yeah,
think
like,
you'll see Ed Boon's face. He'll be something else.
which I obviously I know there's a lot more to that team than Ed Boon, since I literally know people on that team. But like, if I said name to me someone with Mortal Kombat, no one can name anyone else. Like he is one of those people in the industry that, like, we talk about that really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next we have a Falcon trailer, which obviously I care about a lot more than you do.
Add this onto the list of who cares.
And then lastly, AJ, it happened. It came out on Valentine's Day. Our official trailer for the Snyder Cut. We're
watching this in black and white when the Layers of Gray edition comes out.
There has to be a black and white version of this,
right?
They
announced that today.
Okay. Because like it just feels like there has to be. I'm excited because it's 4 hours long. Okay, wild. I will be curious. Do you think this will be better or worse than Justice League that we got?
That's debatable, but I think it will at least solve some issues.
I think it's very obvious it will. I am genuinely curious. So, like, it ends with like the Joker, for example, and I want to see more of that Flash and Cyborg stuff that we know got cut from the film.
Will we though? Because Cyborg is persona non grata.
That was before this, though. And the other thing, obviously, is we want to see what happens that makes him Black Suit Man and makes him go back, because that suit's in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, that'll probably be Darkseid stuff. So.
But like, I'm excited to at least see what this vision of Zack Snyder is, especially because we thought they gave him a leash with a Watchmen, not Justice League. They gave him the entire barn.
Well, I'm more curious, like, what the original Snyder cut of this movie, of the stuff that he shot, at least.
Mm-hmm.
How much different is that? Because there were extensive reshoots for Justice League. We knew that.
Right, so it's obviously different.
But, how much of that is... How much of the originals are in this? How much of... I have to imagine everything with the Joker was reshot, because it's a completely different look.
Which I'm very interested by, because I didn't hate the Joker the same way everyone else did, so I'll be very curious how this all looks.
I mean, Leto was fine as the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I think the look was just weird.
I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna say the obvious thing though. Jared Leto and the Joker wasn't the problem with Suicide Squad.
No.
Like, on no level was he the problem.
There were bigger issues with that movie.
Like, if he was the worst thing about that film would be 3 times better than it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Jumping to video games. I think we have to start with the obvious one. Google pulled a Google.
So, you know what's funny about this? This... What was the tweet about, that came after Navarro, about how is Stadia doing?
Yeah. From the director, yeah.
Yeah.
From the one game director.
And now he's fired.
So, to me, what was funnier was the way that people found out about this was one of the teams that Google bought that made Journey to the Savage Planet, it was partially busted. No one was playing enough, so someone finally caught a bug that you couldn't play it anymore on there. Emailed the devs to tell them you can't play the game, and no one responded because there was no one left at the developer.
Yeah. Well, and what's weird is, like, why didn't they... Like, it was weird to pull the team and not, like completely severed the team. You know, they didn't, you know, route the email address to a support or what.
Yeah. I just, yeah, fuck. So the other thing I read was, apparently, they were paying shit, like, when they bought, you know, like Red Dead was on the Stadia and stuff. They were paying stuff like $40 million for the rights to stream Red Dead.
That's not surprising.
Apparently, Google spent like $500 million for the rights to games. And what they had, 100 games? Like, so what I was reading is, the general vibe of what people are feeling is, and I was reading this on TechCrunch and Bloomberg and stuff, is Google tried to throw money at this like it was a tech problem, where this was actually a game development problem, and it is the same problem Amazon's really having, which is that these are tech companies trying to get in a game space, but they're trying to treat it like a tech issue, which obviously once Stadia's tech part is a tech issue, but making games that work on that platform or trying to sell it to gamers is a different issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, the tech part of Stadia is fine.
Right, that's not the problem. It's so, like, a comparison I was reading, which I think makes a lot of sense, is so Amazon is a kind of a to Google, right? Where they're kind of having tech companies trying to figure this out. Where Apple is treating this a lot more like Microsoft is, which is why they're succeeding. Because like Apple just like stole ex-Disney developers and stole those business people from the game side and built a platform around to how people play and consume games. Where like Stadia, we go back to the dumbest thing in the world was you had to pay for a box, which is $130. You then had to pay for a subscription, and then you also had to pay for the games.
Yeah.
Which Google was trying to be like, well, people buy consoles. Great. But you're trying to pitch this as not a console, and people don't trust your tech. It's way harder. We at least, whether you like game consoles or not, we relatively all know what to expect from them.
Well, and I guess the solace for Luna is that Amazon, and maybe this is a Bezos thing, so this will change now. Amazon does not abandon its dead tech.
Correct.
For better or for worse, you know, you can buy, you know, for whatever reason, they still make Fire glasses, which are basically Google Glass. In fact, they made a second version of them recently.
I thought the new one just came out. I was not looking at buying it at all. Don't worry. But yeah.
I looked at them. I'm like, who cares?
So the one I really like is it's not those, sidetrack. There's the Bose headset I think are really cool, where it's actually speakers and only you can hear the music.
Yeah.
Those I think are cool. But no, I think it's that. So yeah, it's the Google thing. And then Google, I think, had 2 exclusive games on that platform. Like, and then you need it's like, there's all those problems tied to it. And like, the thing I go back to is, who was their market? Because our tech isn't there yet. What's the market for when you're traveling and you have some Wi-Fi, but then the Wi-Fi isn't strong enough? If I'm home and I'm the consumer you're going after, that's a pretty big drop I have to still drop on this stuff. It's the same as going to buy an Xbox One or a PS4. Like, I don't understand who this was for.
It's why, to me, xCloud is going to be interesting.
Right.
Because so xCloud is the same thing.
Yes, but people trust the Xbox brand more.
They do, but what I'm saying is it's targeting the same market. Like, it's the idea of, you know, you can play it on the go, but can you? Like, is the real question. And then, you can stream it, you know, when you have great Wi-Fi. Well, when you have great Wi-Fi, you're either at home, so you're at your Xbox, or you're at a friend's house, And who cares? Like,
So I think there are some cool tech there that I think 10 years from now that'll be really important. So Google did a thing, which was the first main person who do this so one of the things that remember when Sony bought whatever it was that is now PS Now.
guy.
Yes. So their issue is, and it's still an issue, is when I do an input on a controller, it streams it to the game console, which then streams it to the server and then does the output. The Google controller streams it directly to the server, which
Yeah.
seems small. When I'm talking about how many jumps that is, that's massive.
You want to know the harsh reality of it?
Hmm.
I didn't notice a difference. I was
Which is
having lag issues anyway, so
okay. From a technical feat point of view, if we want to get to the streaming future, stuff like that matters a ton, and
yeah.
figuring it out matters a ton. So whether it works now, you could have that fight, but figuring it out matters.
Yeah. I mean, that was like it's the logical step for, I think it's smart that Stadia is now like, hey, instead of what's the name of the service that people are using right now for like streaming demos?
Oh fuck, I know what you're talking about too. Which apparently that service works really well, people are saying.
Yeah. So
I've heard
Stadia is now
genuinely good
going to be
things about
that, like, which is the smart idea. Like,
Yeah, because how many businesses have a Google email already? Tie it in that model, add it as an add-on to your Google account services. Yeah.
and it can be it'll be so much easier because if they can make it where Ubisoft has you didn't put it on here, but E3 21 has been canceled.
Right.
If Ubisoft is like, hey, we have our demo and it's exclusively through Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play it on anything. You could pull it up on, a browser and play it. Like, that idea is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was weird that they were trying to do the storefront as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, or at least I hope, I should say, that this change to kind of the service is the thing that makes that survive, because it's amazing tech, but
Mm-hmm.
it's got the problem of it's the Sony issue. It's what makes Sony and Microsoft different, right? Like, Sony is it's a hardware company.
Mm-hmm.
So since the PlayStation, the Sony has been, it may not have been the strongest. The original Xbox was more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But it was sturdy. You knew it was going to last. And it would run, fine the entire length of its service life.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Microsoft is a software company. So the software was better, but the hardware was very hit or miss.
Right.
In fact, kind of still is today. I think this series has finally kicked that trend.
To be fair, it's really hard to get over a thing where like half your consoles die in the first 2 years.
Well, and then you had, the Xbox One issue of, it was effectively a PS4 inside, but they were using the hardware for, other hardware stuff that nobody was using, so it was going to be a worse experience.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's fair. Okay. Jumping to next news, it is Pokemon's 25th anniversary, as you mentioned last time. The 25th anniversary was like 2 days ago. And the biggest announcements were 2 sets of games, because it's Pokemon, so. The first set is finally late this year, so usually the October-November timeframe is normally come out. We'll be getting remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, known as Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which will be Pokemon like you expect. And then finally, this has been long rumored in development, is coming out beginning of next year or first quarter, is Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is, as people like to say, what Breath of the Wild did to Zelda, this is trying to do to Pokemon. It is set inside Sinnoh, years before any other Pokemon games have ever taken place that are traditional Pokemon games. So like there's no gym, there's no league, it's an open world game, all the Pokemon kind of naturally go in the environment. And what's really cool is, which is probably nothing AJ cares about, is the starters there aren't Sinnoh starters. Actually, Piplup is, but it's Piplup, Cyndaquil, and whatever the grass one is. Which is just kind of a cool little take on Pokemon. And what's kind of interesting is the Pokemon Company has announced it's Rowlet, by the way. I was thinking that what's cool about this is Pokemon Company has announced is that kind of this is kind of like their first of this take a game, so we could have more in the future, which could really kind of change how kind of we can make Pokemon games now and that kind of thing. And I think it's kind of a cool take on the series, while still making it feel like a Pokemon game. And they've defined this as a main core game because like they have those main games and obviously there's Pokemon side games. They have said they are counting this in their main track of Pokemon games. So anything that's really successful in this, they'll obviously take from and add it to the future games too.
You done yet?
Yeah, you don't care about Pokemon, we know.
Not one bit.
So, the next news we have, after its long, torturous redevelopment, Anthem is officially dead.
I'll admit, I was looking forward to Anthem 2.0.
It was Anthem Next, get it right?
Or Next, or whatever. Well, it was 2.0 originally, and then they called it Next, so...
So I think that matters a lot less. But what I think is interesting, I didn't write down, is it's also been confirmed now that the next Dragon Age is going to be a actual single-player RPG because of how horrible Anthem did. But the thing, though, is apparently the game was supposed to be a live service game. But because of Anthem, they're not making any more live service games that are supposed to be RPGs.
They'll still fuck it up.
At least hopefully means the Mass Effect is also not a live service game. Because Anthem was trying to be live service Mass Effect.
No, it wasn't.
That was trying to be Mass Effect style Destiny.
It was trying to be more of an RPG Destiny. It wasn't trying to be Mass Effect Destiny.
It was definitely trying to be, like, look-wise, it looked like Mass Effect Andromeda minus janky graphics.
Yeah.
Next news. This happened a while ago, but we didn't talk about it yet. Gearbox and all of Aspera Media has officially been bought by the Embracer Group, which is THQ Nordic.
Money laundering at its finest.
Do they make Granny Pitchford Chief Money Launderer at CML? That's a C-suite executive, right?
He's the CFO. Randy Pitchford is the new CFO of Embracer Group. So expect a lot more games to have Cyrillic in them.
So here's my actual question. Not ironic, right?
Yeah.
What do we think happens to Borderlands?
I would be interested to see what the deal was.
So, 2K, I know, owns the rights to it, but my understanding was I thought Gearbox had to do some sign-off if other companies made Borderlands games. So, like, for the Telltale stuff, and for the 2K Australia team that made Borderlands games, I thought that Gearbox had to sign off, and probably money changed hands in that sign-off.
That is probably null and void now that it's a different...
entity?
Yeah, it's a different entity, so...
So I wonder if it's just because 2K made a comment how they're excited to keep working with Gearbox, but that for all we know, that could just be because there's continual Borderlands 3 content. I'd be curious when we get to the next Borderlands, because we all know there's going to be one. Does Gearbox make it? Or does Gearbox make it out 2K? Like, does Embracer try to buy Borderlands? Like, what I don't understand is, if you don't have Borderlands, why do you buy Gearbox?
Because the feds are onto you, so you need a new money launderer.
Because, like, legitimately, Gearbox is a fine team, and like, what's actually interesting, they start doing that publishing. Maybe that's making money. Like, what's interesting about Gearbox is their best IP / most well-known IP, they don't own or control.
Yeah.
So it's not even like if someone bought Bungie,
I mean, this is Kojima and the Metal Gear.
Okay, great, but Randy Pitchford's not Kojima. Like,
no, but this is Kojima no longer has control of the Metal Gear franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So why deal with Kojima?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
But
the real question that I have.
Okay.
The real question I have: who is behind Embracer? Is it the Russians or is it the Chinese? Or is it the Indians? Like, legitimately, who's behind them? Because they've bought up everybody.
Russians. I thought it was actually Russians. Was it Chinese? No, it's Chinese.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Not THQ Nordic. Let me look. I could
be
making this up.
Group, like...
So, no, THQ Nordic is Austrian.
Yeah, but look up who runs Embracer Group. Like, who's funding
I will
them.
if my phone wasn't acting like a piece of shit.
For all we know, THQ Nordic being based in Austria is just like a front.
Embracer Group's Swedish. Because Nordic Games. It's Nordic Games, which would make sense.
Yeah, but there's somebody's...
But it's not Swiss with their Swiss bank accounts.
Somebody's pumping money into them from somewhere.
They have to, right?
I mean, like, they came from nowhere. Like,
But to be fair, so much of that is, yes, they came from nowhere, but not fully. Because, like, in that region, they're actually a pretty good film publisher.
Well, not Embracer Group. The
parent.
The group that bought all the THQ assets.
Mm-hmm. Which turned into THQ Nordic, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was Nordic, I think. It was just called Nordic before then.
And they were nobody. Like, for them to now control,
everything.
So much. Like, at least with Tencent, it's a Chinese-funded thing. It's a Chinese money laundering scheme. It's this or that. Like, I feel like because it's so quiet, it has to be the Russians. Like, it's not American. It's not Western European. It's not Indian because it would have some weird-ass name.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's fair. Okay, yeah. Next thing we have... Do we have to talk about GameStop?
Yes, because it was on a surge again this week.
I know, I had still had some, I sold it.
How long, like, if you look at Wall Street Bets, the people there are so, like, I don't know if they're, like, they've brainwashed themselves or what.
It's working.
But think about this, right? So, it's March.
Mm-hmm.
GameStop fiscal year, as far as I know, ends in March.
So you're saying anything they have left is going to come crashing down?
When earning reports come out in April...
It doesn't matter what Wall Street Bets does.
That where the financial reports are okay if you're trading at $4 or $5.
Mm-hmm. No,
if you're trading at
the base is supposed to be somewhere in the 20s or 30s. That's kind of the general rule of thumb, is the way I understand it.
Well, it was what was it? It was like 12, but it was on a decline.
Yeah.
Before everything happened, so let's be realistic. It would probably be a $5 to $6 share about now normally.
Yeah, I don't think it would happen overnight, but I get what you're saying. Like
it's been a year. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, especially when I don't think they either had one at the beginning of this or they haven't had one yet of a quarterly report.
I think it was before this.
Yeah.
This has all been in this quarter.
So, those are where you see the stock, you would see a major move, especially a decline. And I think it may have gone up a little bit with the new CEO, but then, the next quarterly report would come out and they haven't sold anything because stores are closed. So it'd continue to go down. I can't wait for when the year-end reports come out for GameStop. And a report that looks, again, good for like a $5 to $6 company comes out, and it's trading at 500 because these are idiots. And they lose their shirt over this. Because
what's your point?
I don't care who, like, if you're a major investment corporation, if you're invested in GameStop at all, when that report comes out, you sell everything.
I think at this point I own no GameStop.
Yeah. Let these day traders drive themselves to bankruptcy.
So I didn't do the GameStop thing. So I actually had AMC stock from a while ago because I thought it was going to go up just naturally when theaters reopened. So when AMC hit 19 a share, I just sold everything I owned because I was like, there's no way in hell it's ever hit that ever again.
Yeah.
Because I owned it naturally. So like, oh, so it was trading at 4 when I bought it. I was like, oh, I think AMC's going to hit 6 or 7 when theaters open back up. It's a good return on investment. It hit 19. I was like, bye. Have a good day.
Yeah. Like, I think you and I are smart about, like, we have foresight when it comes to this.
At least for record, every stock you buy and sell is a risk, yada yada. But I was willing to take an educated bet that AMC wouldn't stay at 4 when theaters open. I just didn't think it would hit 19.
Yeah. And seeing all this, it's like, okay. Like, I can't. Okay, you had your fun with trying to drive Melvin into bankruptcy. Whatever, that didn't happen. And now you're just going to hold. You're going to hold until that share is pennies.
Yeah.
Because you're the crackhead that buys a lotto ticket every other day because it's going to hit. It's going to hit. You're that like, if you're listening to this, and obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but I am a realist. If you're listening to this and you're one of these hold idiots, just get rid of it. Like, you probably made some money unless you bought when it was 400 to hop on the bandwagon. You probably made some money. Get rid of it. Get ready to pay the IRS basically all of the money that you made. And, just move on with your life. Because GameStop stock is going to be delisted. I say within the next 3 years. Because I don't see how, no matter what this Chewy guy does, like, if he wants to be the Amazon of games, that already exists. It's called Amazon. Like, there's no future for GameStop. Which is the sad, like, it's the sad reality because, I grew up going to GameStop, buying all my games from GameStop. Like, this company is going to die soon. So get out of it while you can. It's not going to hit 100,000. It's not, the AI that said, oh, it can go to 30 million. No, it won't. The AI that said it would go to 130,000. It won't. That'd be like a third of the US GDP is tied up in GameStop. That's not going to happen. This stock will level out at maybe $7 to $8 until it gets delisted. So get out of it while you can, because
run for the wins.
at least you've made money. Like these people that are mortgaging houses and not paying their rent to buy GameStop stock. Like,
Now, if only the stimmy money came when this all started. Can you actually imagine, though, if the $1,400 stimulus money came right before this happened and a bunch of people put their new
oh dear
$1,400
God,
in
a
bet?
lot of people did. Like, I heard a lot of people were doing that.
Okay, for the record, if I actually paid attention to Wall Street bets and I listened to them, I would have dropped some decent money to them because I was like, what's the worst that happens? Like, can you imagine if you actually, like, if one of us caught it, like, back when it was like 10 a share and just dropped in, like, a couple thousand?
I mean, if that was the case, I'd be living in Wyoming right now on a ranch. Like,
These should be like, you know what's gonna be real suck for these people? So, when they have capital gains stock, capital gains, and then the IRS rule is, if you owe the IRS next year more than $100, you're gonna pay a penalty on that sucker per day. It's gonna be amazing to watch.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, okay, these idiots on Wall Street bets aren't financial advisors. Get a goddamn tax lawyer, like,
Because you're about to need one.
because yeah, it may seem great that you can make $500,000 by
But
selling.
a third of that in taxes.
Oh, more than that.
You can probably get down to a third. But the point is, you're gonna owe a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Minimal, you're gonna owe a lot of money to the IRS, and they're gonna want it.
You're gonna owe you're on $500,000. You're probably gonna owe over 130.
No,
Yeah.
capital gains rate isn't that high.
But it's
short-term.
capital gains, and people will not file it properly.
Right. So if you filed property, you owe up to 30. So it's your tax bracket is what you owe.
Yeah.
So it's up to 37%, but I bet you most of these people aren't in that tax bracket. It's probably in the 20s.
Yeah. So, I mean, still a quarter.
It's still a lot of money.
A quarter of 50 is still what, 12 and a half.
So let's say they're single, and I'll say we'll be honest. Most of these people are in the 40,000 to 85,000 range. That's 22%.
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking at.
So I mean, 20% of $500,000 is still $100,000.
No, an absurd amount of money. But the point, especially when you aren't accounting for it.
Yeah, when all of a sudden the IRS is like, "Hey, we're going to send you a bill for $100,000. You know all that money that you just spent on Teslas and stupid shit? Yeah, we need $100,000. Oh, you don't have $100,000? That's cool. We're gonna,
leverage your wages till you do.
We'll take your wages until you pay us off. And let's be real, a lot of these people, as you say, make 40 to 80, if that. It will take them years to pay this off.
Mm-hmm. And there will be interest.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the
The
US
IRS
economy.
they want their money. Okay. Next news. We'll just talk on this one quickly. We know now officially we have a next-gen VR system coming for the PSVR sometime in the next couple years. About a easy use new controller. The thing that, please to God, when this thing comes out is it will be a single cord that plugs into your PS5 and not the nonsense that is the current setup for a PS5 for a PSVR.
Well, and it sounds like they might be going towards like knuckle controllers.
Yeah, like so the other thing is they said there'll be a new controller which will be nicer than the Move ones. I was hoping this would be a wireless device, honestly, compared to a wired device. But I understand that's hard.
The problem is a wireless VR setup is only good for about half an hour.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So,
that's a valid critique.
It severely limits what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That is valid. Last news story is it's a trailer. I dropped on the thing. Big thing is we know the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is officially coming out this year in May, I believe. May 14th. It's all 3 games for PS4, Xbox One, works backwards compatible with the next gen. no multiplayer, and then all but one of the DLCs because they actually lost the code for one of the DLCs from Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
Meh.
Or if you're on PC, you pay $100 for a year of Origin, and you get all that stuff.
And you get them also. You don't get this though,
Well, it's already got the enhanced editions on there.
because they redid all the graphics.
There's already enhanced editions.
No, this is a whole new.
They've announced that it's
Alright.
going to be the enhanced editions. Because they just do that. They'll upgrade like it upgrades you to the $100 tier of the game, right? Like, so for Madden, for FIFA, for anything EA recently, it gives you the Ultimate Edition, whatever. And it's going to be the enhanced Mass Effect. Like the Need for Speed remake. Was it they just released it like Hot Pursuit or something like that? That it's not a new game on Origin. It's the remaster in your library. You don't have the original. It's just the remaster one. So it's nice. It keeps the clutter in your library down.
Does it?
Yeah.
Sweet. So last stuff, games of the next couple of months. This is kind of the big stuff to talk about, kind of the next really season at this point, because it's still spring and it's games. So It Takes Two comes out March 26th. Since we last talked, Returnal has been delayed to April 30th. As we said a minute ago, Mass Effect Legend Edition will come out on May 14th, and then Deathloop will come out on May 21st. KJ, it is time for a discussion. We have discussed Movie Club is returning this month with an exciting addition. Old Justice League. Not Old Justice League, the Zack Snyder's Justice League. Don't watch regular Justice League. We're watching Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I say we
we
do
doing
what I texted you.
And you want to do what exactly?
A watch-along companion episode.
Okay.
So instead of
When
breaking down BVS and Justice League, because that would probably have to be a two-part anyway, because Justice League is it's 4 hours.
Right.
So what we'll do, what I'm proposing, is
It comes out.
do 2 2-hour episodes of a watch-along. So.
And then I assume at the end of the second one is where you kind of sit down and kind of talk about stuff. But yeah. So it comes out 18th, but I think it's like super late night. So basically it comes out the 19th, which is a Friday.
Yeah, so we'll probably record that weekend.
That weekend. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I figure that way, right? Then it cuts down on the time too, like, because we're gonna have to watch a 4-hour movie either way. Now we're watching a 4-hour movie and also recording our podcast. That might be a difficult one because I don't know how we're gonna do like.
There is because all the third-party apps don't know if they work with HBO Max.
What do you mean?
There's some third-party apps for watch-along stuff because like Amazon has one, but like I don't know if there are any for
like
HBO.
that. There's got to be something because I've seen like, for some reason I still follow a bunch of them on Twitter. Some of the Rooster Teeth people talking about HBO watch-alongs. So there must be some way to do that. Although it's probably just like, hey, we're starting it in 3, 2, 1, go, like how it used to be. But more of recording wise, like, you know, I'm gonna have to get fancy and output your audio to Discord. Oh, I'm going to have to fire up Voice Meter again.
Oh god. So what we're gonna have to do is, are we gonna do it where? Because I assume we can't record that audio. So it's just gonna be you have to record just us. But we're gonna try to find a way to listen to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to do.
We have to probably do a test run, is my guess, beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, it'll just be Voice Meter. It'll be, OBS recording. I'll have Discord output to like one of the Voice Meter outputs, and then
I was gonna say that's easy. You just have you channel and me channel on a Justice League channel. Relatively speaking, you don't even need the Justice League channel just to separate the audio.
yeah, I could record it as a new thing, but
And then it could be muted, obviously. But the whole point is that's where I'm on a separate channel. I could also just do it on my end, and we just only record the mic audio.
yeah. We'll figure it out, but
Okay. So that will be movie club-ish. Will be us doing a commentary of Justice League. We will obviously cue it in and out, so that way you guys can line it up.
yeah, we'll probably do like we'll count down into the start, and then we'll do like half-hour sync ups.
Because it's easy to figure it out, lose track, yeah.
So.
Okay.
And I now have a project of figuring that shit out. It's not hard. It's using
just
Voice
takes some
Meter,
time.
but it's time consuming.
Yep. Okay. Well, that is it for this actually decently long episode of the SWW Show. Happy 30th.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can start getting back pain now?
I mean, I already have back pain, so.
Perfect. Remember, you can follow AJ at AJ_Losi. Follow me at
25 going
Mikey_Moni.
on 75.
Follow the show at the SWW Show. Remember, if you want to find the show, it's anchor.fm/SWW. Is there anything else big coming up? Soon we'll have a follow-up interview with the Rogue Legacy guys, some more interviews, and F1 show is back soon, right?
Yeah. It'll be in March.
Okay. Yep, sometime this month then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll have the first one out talking about the upcoming season. I assume big changes, all of that fun nonsense.
Oh, there are 0 changes. No, I take that back. There's 3 changes.
Well, we'll talk about it then.
4 changes.
AJ, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go make yourself some din-din. And I think that's all.
Goodbye.
This podcast was a production of the SWW Show. To learn more, go to theswwshow.com. Remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at the SWW Show. You can follow me at Mikey_Moni. You can follow AJ at LowSeaBoy. Remember, new episodes premiere on Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time on anchor.fm/SWW and podcast services around the globe.